you doing, champ?
I'm doing good, man. Okay. Not bad.
All right.
So that's Errol Jarrett, and I'm Boxing Beats and Rhymes. Really appreciate your time, Steve. So what's good in the life for Steve Forbes, the boxer, in 2013? What's happening now?
Oh, man, I'm just, getting myself in condition, coming back down in weight, which is, I spent the process fighting at a lot heavier guys, but been consistent in the gym and just coming back down to weight and don't have the, distractions that I had before. And, we'll see what happens. I'm feeling pretty good, and I think there's a lot of things I can do out there, so we'll see. What's
your ideal weight to fight at?
I'm a lightweight. I think I'm a really good lightweight. I've always been. I've been slowly taking the weight off. Each match or each, I've been lighter and lighter and lighter, and I think I did it the right way. I mean, it's, I've been going through kind of trial and error type situation, but no, my ideal weight is lightweight. I've always been a lightweight. My best performances were at lightweight. So
okay. Well, you won your title at super feather, isn't it? You won your world title at super featherweight against John Brown.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's just a case, basically, you have to tackle the heavier guys for the dough, really. That's where the dough's at.
Yeah.
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 I mean, you know what? Yeah, to be honest with you, when I think about you, I remember you from the Contender, and I mean, I know you was a world champion, obviously, previously going into that, yeah, and you know what I'm saying? That's how you got world recognition through the Contender series, and even after that, I mean, fighting Oscar De La Hoya, you beat him up.
Yeah.
How'd you winning that fight, man? You remember? Can you go through that with us?
Yeah, I remember going through, the whole Oscar fight. I went into that fight. I had no fear. I had, of course, the heart of a champion, and I was like, I'm a huge underdog. This guy, he's a big star. He's physically a lot bigger than me, but I knew he would kind of underestimate me, although he trained hard. But I was just like, you know what? This is going to be a dogfight. I have to get in close and mix it up, and that's what I did. I mean, that fight, those type of fights like that, you fight a bigger guy, it kind of wears on your body a little bit. It takes a little bit time to recover,
Yeah.
When you fight guys that heavy, he made me fight him at 150 pounds,
Yeah, I'm
basically junior middleweight, so it kind of takes a little from you, and your body has to recover, But no, it was a great experience. The money wasn't bad. It was an awesome, opportunity.
So why don't you have fear of fighting these bigger? I mean, Grady Brewer, he just seemed like a whole universe bigger than you in that final. Why don't you fear fighting bigger guys, man? It just
on the Contender.
Yeah, he just seemed a lot bigger than you.
What's funny about doing the Contender? A lot of people don't know this. When I did the Contender, the Contender weight, it was 149 pounds. I was a junior lightweight before that. I had maybe 3 fights at 140, and then the Contender came up. But the rule that I agreed to on the Contender was we'd weigh in the same day as the fight. Like, the weigh-ins were at 10 a.m., and then the fights were at 5 p.m., so it made it more of an even playing field. But in the final against Grady Brewer, they made the weigh-in normal like they do other fights with 24 hours in between. It was more than that. It was like maybe a 36-hour difference between the weigh-in and the fight, which, I didn't know it was going to be like that in the final,
Yeah.
So he got a chance to put on so much weight and be, I didn't put on much weight between the weigh-in and the final. Actually, even on the show, when before the final, I would only put on like maybe 1 pound because I was more natural in my weight of walking around. I didn't have to cut any weight or anything like that. So that just, you could see the difference in size. And, you know, he was a big, strong guy, and he barely won the fight, you know.
I couldn't split you two at the end. At the end of it, I couldn't split you two. I was like, I wanted you to win. I was just thinking, I couldn't split it at the end.
Yeah.
You know? But,
yeah, man. Definitely. It was a big accomplishment beating K9 Bondridge, man.
yeah, in hindsight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Look, if you look at it now, he's a world champion now. You know what I'm saying? What about call for that rematch, man? He maybe.
Yeah, I know. He's a lot. He's too big now. I mean, you know, it's funny. Him and I are really good friends, and we talk quite a bit. And he learned a lot in our fight. He became better, and you know, I'm real happy to see him world champion. You know, I'm really, really proud of him. He's one of the good guys. You know, a really good guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. You won the title against John Brown, but you lost the fight on the scales. What happened? You lost the title on the scales.
I lost him on the scales after I defended against John Brown in a rematch, which was 11 months later from winning the title, and then another 11 months, you know, went by before I even got a chance to fight again. So, you know, it was hard making that weight back then, and you know, it was just really tough. I wanted to give up the belt before that, but you know, I had the promoters and the, you know, agent I had at the time. My agent was telling me we should give up the title and just move up in weight, and you know, I just couldn't make the weight, man. It was really tough.
Yeah.
And, you know, I had to, you know, but it was so much time that went by. I had fought, what, 2 times in 2 years, pretty much. You know, it was, especially trying to make that weight. The year that I won the title, if you look at the year that I became champion, I fought 8 times that year. So I was very, very active. And then to not be active, it was real tough to make that weight.
Yeah. It must have been a sickener to lose your title like that, man.
Yeah, oh man, it was horrible. It was one of the worst feelings. You know, you don't ever want to, ever want to be looked upon as not professional. But there was so many things behind the scenes where, you know, I wanted to fight a few months before that at a heavier weight just to see how I felt. But, you know, it was a tough thing to go through.
Yeah. So what happened in your last contest against this Johan?
I don't know if you guys got to see it, man, but I clearly boxed him, man. I clearly beat him. I don't know what the judges were watching. I mean, a lot of people were scratching their heads. I mean, it was a good match, but if you watch the fight, I controlled the fight with my jab. I had good combination punching. You know, I was in and out. This guy was taller than me, but I was able to out jab him. I scored well. You know, I really don't know a lot of times what the judges are watching.
Yeah.
I think maybe they favor the guy, the promoters, whoever the promoter promotes, they kind of favor that person.
Yeah.
But, you know, I definitely felt good in there. This was a chance for me to kind of, you know, through all the distractions I had over the last few years of, you know, I went through a pretty bad divorce and stuff like that I wanted to show, hey, you know what, I think I'm back, man. I did that. And I think the judges just messed up. You know, did some horrible scoring lately in boxing.
Yeah. You see, what happens, because there's a big time difference between us over here and you guys over there. So I was planning to watch the fight, watch the card. And when I woke up, it must have been probably about 4 o'clock or something. And your fight just finished. I saw you speaking to the announcer. And, you know, you was obviously disappointed and voicing your protestations. And So, but I still want to see that fight. You know?
Yeah, there's a website, and, you know, I'll send you guys a link to it where you can watch it. We watched it last night online. So
okay.
They have it up. I think it's sosoboxing.com.
Yeah.
I mean, they have all the fights up, so you can check them out. But yeah, man, I mean, I felt really good in there. And if you watch it, you'll see a guy that knows what he's doing in there, and then you'll see a guy that's kind of just reckless. And that's how this kid fought. You know, he didn't. You'll see that I controlled the fight. I mean, I had the fight. This is how I scored it. I had it maybe 7 rounds to 3, because I could score while I'm in there fighting. I've been fighting so long that a fighter knows what's happening when he's in a fight. You can score it as you're in there, and you'll see me lift my hands up a couple times in between rounds because I know I'm like, okay, I won that round. And then sometimes you'll see me, oh, that round was kind of close. You'll see me nod my head like, all right. But no, majority of the rounds, a good 7 out of 10 rounds I won.
Okay.
You know, and what the best thing is that people get to watch it. You can watch it and judge for yourself. And that fight was at 100. I weighed in 141 pounds. I think he came in at 143 pounds, and he didn't even make weight. He had to go back and try it again. So, you know.
Okay.
But it was a good, entertaining fight. It was one of my probably best fights that I've had in the last few years, which is good. And so I'm still training. I'm still, bringing my weight down. A lot more health conscious now. I, try to eat better and just try to keep myself overall better.
Yeah.
One of my big goals, though, is to come to the UK and fight. I've always wanted to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of bummed out when, they did the UK contender, and I wanted to be on that so bad, man. But I had another fight set. But yeah.
Wow,
I really missed out on that.
How come you didn't come over? That was because there were 8 British boxers against 8 Scottish American boxers. How comes you wasn't on that train there, man?
Yeah, I wasn't on that. I had a fight against Demetrius Hopkins.
Oh, okay.
That's yeah, but I would have rather did that,
Yeah.
But I had a kind of a bigger match. But I would have loved to do that, and I would have loved to just come over to watch. But my ex-wife. Now ex-wife, she had just had my little son, so I wasn't able to travel over for it. But I would definitely love to come over there and fight. And I really like UK boxing. I love the fact that you guys understand boxing. You know, a lot of people here, and I mean, they don't quite understand everything about boxing. Some people have their guys. They only watch the punchers or, and most of the crowd are a lot of people that just showing up to watch a fight. They don't understand what they're watching.
Yeah.
I think the majority of the fans over there and people over there understand a good fight. They understand what they're watching, and, I had a good time coming over there when Ricky Hatton was getting ready to fight Castillo. I came over for a couple weeks. Had a great time just talking boxing with a lot of people. So
yeah.
Always wanted to. So we'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, look, man. In your division lightweight, there's a lot of guys there. Gavin Reese. There's a lot of guys there waiting. There's a lot of guys,
Ricky
that division.
Burns?
Mm-hmm.
Ricky Burns. That's a very good possibility.
Mm.
Yeah, no, it is.
You can come go to Scotland and fight them, and these fights are there because I don't see Reese getting past Bruno.
No, Bruno. No.
I don't. Me and Beats are a little better, but I see he ain't gonna go past 3. But
No.
Even though he's from the UK and we're supposed to be fighters, but the truth, man.
Well, I only got it 5 rounds. I've got him trying to get
3
them
rounds.
to 5.
How many rounds you got, Steve?
5. I've got.
I got about 3 too, man. See, that's why I respect. Because you guys say what you think. That's why. Like I always tell people, man, I love talking boxing with guys in the UK because it doesn't matter. They'll say what they think.
Yeah.
And it's a good back and forth conversation on boxing. So. Yeah. No, but I'll say about 3 rounds. Then I mean, it would surprise me if it goes longer than that.
Yeah.
It should be interesting though to see what happens.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? What about it would have been a good fight, you versus that guy. Was it who's that boy Beats, the guy who died?
Not
Valero.
Edwin Valero?
Hey, yeah, Edwin Valero. Yo, man. How you and Edwin?
Oh yeah, because he's such a
Yeah, you and Edwin Valero. That would be a good fight, man.
Yeah, because he's a puncher, but I've always been able to take a punch. So it's interesting. Yeah. I mean, there's some really good fights out there, man, especially in the lightweight division.
Yeah, it's a shame he died though, but yeah, they're real.
Yeah.
Like, where did you get that defensive ability? Like, you've really preserved yourself in the ring very well. Where did that come from?
You know what? I think it's mental. I've always been a guy that I was always kind of told, I think it has something to do with the story of me weighing 2 pounds and all that stuff. I was always told, and from doctors, and they always told me that I would be like better and at my peak of strength and everything later in life, which is kind of funny. That's normally you don't hear that, but they told me, they said, you know what, you won't hit your prime, abilities until a lot later, because your body still develops, at a certain point. Like you'll probably get your strongest at certain age. It won't be like normal. They told me that, like a lot of things you'll be able to uncover later, especially physical wise. That's why, I've been in the gym and I train at Wildcard Gym. I'm sparring with these young guys, man, and it's hard for them to keep up, especially this last training camp. I've been really focused, and I just think also I'm a defensive guy. So when you're a defensive guy, you don't take a lot of abuse. You can learn to relax in there, and I think you can last a little longer in your sport. Like Bernard Hopkins is a prime example of a guy that has lasted longer. He's not as exciting as he used to be, like 10 or 15 years ago, but he still can, hang around there, and he's still pretty clever. So I think it's mental.
Yeah. You see your defensive style, like, so you was with the Mayweathers. I'm not too sure which one you was. Was it Roger or Floyd?
Yeah, I was with Roger. Yeah, I worked with all of them actually. Yeah. You
worked with all of them, like you know them pretty well.
Yeah. Yep, I know them pretty well. I used to sleep on Roger's couch. Yeah, I know all of them really, really good.
Wow, is that where you learn your defensive style of boxing?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep, from the Mayweathers. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Because like I said, going back to that De La Hoya fight, man, I've never seen nothing like that, man. You know De La Hoya, yeah, right? You're the only person that I've seen do that to his face, apart from Pacquiao. Do you know that? No one else did that to his face. You swole up the whole of his face. Mayweather didn't do that. Mm-hmm. You swole up one side of his face. He's bleeding and everything, man.
Steve ruined Oscar's career. He ruined his career.
Yeah. I heard that.
Yeah, he was one step away. That was it. It was one step in the grave after that, man. Pacquiao just finished him off.
Finished him off. Yeah.
I think Mayweather
and it's funny because
Floyd set him up.
I was going to say, Pacquiao watched my fight, preparing for his own fight with Oscar. He's like, oh man, they took what I did and took it up another notch. That was impressive.
Was he shocked what happened to Pacquiao?
Yeah, oh yeah, man. I was really shocked, man. Yeah, that was, those guys, man, those guys are made for each other. When they fight, you just don't know what's going to happen.
So Steve, how many years you got left in the game, man? You reckon, man? How many fights you got left?
And I think maybe a couple. I got to pick the right fights, and and that's what we're doing now. We're coming down in weight. We're gonna probably take a couple tune-up fights, and then maybe like summertime, I should probably be like on Showtime. I mean, that's what was mentioned right after my fight. They mentioned that to me. They said, "Oh man, we want to put you back on TV. We can't control the judges." This is what the promoter said. We can't control the judges, but we definitely want you on a big show. So I said, well, okay, but I'm going to take a couple fights. I want to get myself back sharp at lightweight because I haven't been there in years. I mean, I made weight really easy, 141 pounds, pretty easy. So, my trainers and I, we sat down and talked and said, let's come down to lightweight. We take a couple fights, back to back, kind of see, get ourselves, see how we feel, and then see what happens from there. So I would say, a couple years, that I can see what I can do. Pick the right spots.
So what lightweight? What? How much is that? Is that 130? What's the weight of that?
135. 135.
I'm looking on your box rec. You haven't been there. You haven't been around to 135 in some time.
Yeah, no, it's been a long time.
Yeah, man, you've been fighting bigger guys all the while,
Big
man.
guys, man.
Why,
You
man?
know,
Like,
yeah.
come on, man. I know. Is it for the money? Is like for the obviously De La Hoya was a big payday and Jimmy Vasquez, but you didn't really need to be fighting these guys. And even in the contender series, you was the little guy then, and you was outboxing these guys easily. You know what I'm saying? Is it the competition?
I wasn't getting any fights offered at any other weight, and it's like, man, especially once I did the contender. The contender, they had a promotional deal with us, so all these fights were offered at a heavier weight, and I was like, man, this was the curse of doing the show. I mean, we got paid really well to do it, but afterwards, after being on the show, the only fights were offered for the heavier weight because being on the show and fighting these guys, So
yeah, man, because
it's crazy.
I don't think you'd have got all these. I don't think. I mean, I'm obviously a lot of judges decisions, but I don't think you would have got half of these things yet because of the weight. It's crazy. 47.
No.
46, 50. Oscar De La Hoya 150, 40. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and now you're going out to white play. Don't you think? At that point, how you feel like your strength is going to be at that weight? You know what I'm saying? You might have a bit more digging. You might have a bit more dig at that weight as well,
Yeah.
And it's kind of...
no, I think I'm going to be really, really strong.
Yeah.
I mean, I started feeling strong my last fight, and it's funny because my last fight, BoxRec, they don't have the correct weight. They messed up.
143. They got 143.
Yeah. And you was 141.
Yeah, that's horrible. I weighed 141 and a half. And they're supposed to change it, but they haven't changed it yet.
Oh.
Watch when you watch the link, it'll say I weigh 141 and a half when they announce the weights. But I don't know why BoxRec did that. But I think my strength will be good. I think I'll be really strong because it's more naturally my weight,
Yeah.
So and especially the way we're doing it. I don't think you can't just cut weight and starve yourself because you'll be weak. But I got a nutrition guy, and stuff like that. I never had that stuff.
Yeah.
I got people that, eat the right stuff and, you'll have all your strength. So
the nutritionists, they cost a lot of money, don't they, to have them on board?
Yeah, but what's good about my guy is it's all in one. We do strength and conditioning and, nutrition. So he's not charging me, arm and a leg.
Okay.
It's all together. And we're friends. That's the thing. Like it's more like family. I'm over his house every day. So it's kind of more of a, like, I don't even pay for that stuff.
Yeah. We spoke to Alex Ariza last week as well, speaking of strength conditioners and nutritionists. Yeah. Interesting interview. Yeah. So are you targeting Adrian Broner then, if you're coming back down to lightweight? Is that who you're targeting?
Yeah, but I think he's going to move up. I got a feeling maybe this may be his last fight at lightweight. That's my feeling, but we'll see. But, I mean, I would definitely target, him. But any of those guys, he's the name guy.
So tell me something. Since you're coming back to lightweight, do you sort of psychologically break down how you take on Broner, Burns, Vasquez, and all them guys? Have you got a game plan for all of them?
Yeah, these guys, a lot of these guys, like a Broner, he wants to be Mayweather, and he tries to do a lot of things like Mayweather, but he doesn't do it quite right. I mean, he's bigger than these guys, so he gets away with it, and he's got speed. He's young, but if you watch his fight against Ponce de Leon, there's an argument that Ponce de Leon could have won that fight, And so watching these guys, I see. Once you guys watch my fight, you'll see me do something in the fight that you don't see guys do anymore. I throw flurries, 5, 6 rapid fire shots, and one time. You don't see guys sit down and throw 5, 6 punch combinations anymore. Guys, most of the time they'll throw maybe 1, 2, or 3 punches at one time. You don't see 5, 6, 7, 8 punches. So you got to outwork these guys. You got to throw combinations. You got to be smart. Guys don't do that anymore. A lot of guys are just kind of simple. 1-2, 1-2 hook. Yeah. You know, they don't throw combinations, go to the body and the head. And that's why, you know, I really want to hear you guys' feedback once you see this last match I was in. You'll see me go body, head, really fast punches and combinations and speed, and it's exciting to see. So I don't see any of these guys nowadays doing that, you know.
Well, you're right. You're right. I mean, since the days of Sugar Ray Leonard and Meldrick Taylor and Terry, no one really throws in combinations. And with that wide stance Broner does, I don't see why. But then again, maybe the opposition just haven't been able to take advantage of that. But combinations is the way to beat him, obviously. Throwing a lot of shots. Because he doesn't throw a lot of punches. He doesn't, you know. So, yeah.
Right.
I wonder, why is that, though? Dwyer was talking about that, the combination punching. Why is that out?
You know what? I don't think trainers are teaching it. A lot of these trainers nowadays are young. A lot of the older trainers, they like died. You know, they're dying off. They're getting sick. They're getting out of boxing. They're retiring. And some of the young trainers are fans of boxing that don't really know boxing. I mean, I hate to say it. You know, you hear Roger Mayweather's quote, you know, people don't know
shit about boxing.
They don't know about boxing, you know what I mean? So, but it's true. I mean, a lot of the newer trainers don't really study boxing. A lot of them watch the Mayweathers and, you know, Andre Wards and some of these guys, and they just look at technical things, but they don't look at some of the old school stuff where guys do 5-6 combinations, move, pivot and turn guys. You know, you don't see that anymore in boxing. The only person that you can see that even resembles the old school stuff, and that's why he's successful, and is Floyd Mayweather. But Floyd Mayweather doesn't throw 5 and 6 combination punches. He throws 1, 2, 3 shots, but he scores well. He's really accurate. So he doesn't really need to throw 4 and 5 and 6 punch combinations, because it makes it too much of a risk to get hit with something in return. He doesn't have to. He can throw 1, 2, 3 shots, and he's fast enough and defensive enough to get out the way. And that's what everybody tries to do. They try to fight like that, but they can't, because in order to fight like a person like that, you have to have the same mindset as he does. And, you know, a lot of these guys are just copycats. They don't have their own style, you know.
So when you hang the gloves up finally, are you going to be looking to train fighters?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's one thing I want to, you know, at first I wasn't really sure if I wanted to, but I think it would be something that I would like to do. It would be fun, you know, and I understand you can't train every fighter the same way. So, you know, you got to work with their tools. And I kind of like discovering what I think a guy is good at, or even a girl, if she's a fighter, you know, what they're good at, and, you know, work from there. So, yeah, I would definitely be open to training fighters.
It feels like a natural fit that you would become a trainer, actually.
Yeah.
You see, there's been a lot of bad scoring. I mean, you've been on the wrong side of a bad decision recently. Doesn't it get discouraging to keep going in the ring knowing that can happen?
Oh, yeah, it is. You know what? It is. It's really discouraging, man, because, and you like you say you caught the interview, you know, it's because you work so hard, and you're like, man, I put the work in, you know, I did everything I wanted to, you know, that was asked of me. Ring generalship, you know, you came in shape, you performed well. And then to have 3 guys or girls or whoever is judging the fight to just not give you the benefit of doubt in what you're doing, man, it's discouraging. The positive thing of it is you have people that can viewers that will write in or say what they saw. That gives you some type of satisfaction, but you wish the judges would just get it right, because it's like, man, you worked really hard, and, you know, you don't want decisions to affect your life, you know. They have it's powerful that a person with a pen could change, could just, kind of ruin your life, really. But that's what is so good about media and, people, reporters and radio personalities like you guys feel, like you all, and viewers, people that love boxing. They can speak how they feel, and people will listen. So.
Don't you think, Steve? Yeah, it's some of the situations become a favoritism to do with the home crowd, the pressure from the home crowd, the promoters, and the judges are pressured by that. And through that, the judges these days, they scored. I don't know if this has really been looked at, but they scored a fight differently from the past, where you used to get a lot of favoritism because you was pressuring the fighter. And that's what we used to know in the UK. Like, if you pressure your fighter, the guy coming forward probably going to most likely win the fight. And obviously, you throw a lot of punches on the guys, but it seems like if you ain't knocking the guy out, they're not going to give you the decision, because like most of the time you're fighting the guys, and they want to build them guys, and they want to build off your career, and like they bring you over. So it's like you got to flatten some of these guys out here, Steve. Like, line them up. But like you said, you've been fighting at a higher weight. So if you go down to lightweight, maybe you can stop a couple of cats. And get them, you know what I'm saying? That's what's up right now.
That's exactly right. You are exactly right. We talked about that in my conditioning trainer and my trainer. We talked about put these guys on their back. At least put them down. Maybe they'll get up, but you put them down and make it clear cut. And one thing too that you guys in the UK, some of the referees judge the fight, right? Yeah, over there.
In English title fights, the referee judges it. Back in the day, there used to be one referee for European, British title, and Commonwealth, but now I think it's just English title fights. Yeah.
Nice. See, over here, after my fight, the referee came over to us and said, "You won the fight." The referee said, but he can't judge, and we, we all said in our corner, it was like, "Man, you should have been the judge," and he was like. In the UK, I probably would have been,
Yeah, man. I mean, look, man, it's like we watched Tom Adamick, versus Steve Cullum, and we talked to Steve after about probably a month or a couple of weeks after the fight, and I said to him, you're in America. He's from Poland, but it looked like it was his house because there was more Polish fans there, and like they changed the decision in front of him. It's like they said it at the draw, and they said. They gave it a thing, and I'm trying to say that, so American people are not even getting decisions in your own country. And it's like, damn. It's like, what are you going to do, bro?
It's true.
You know what I'm saying? What are you going to do?
It's true.
You know what I'm saying?
It's true.
And so it's like they're trying to build off your legacy. Like, all the work you did, they're trying to just roll over you. Oh, yeah, we can get Steven. Yeah, he going to put up a couple. We don't care what he's going to do.
No, I was going to say, it's funny you say that because the guy I fought is from Venezuela, but it was probably more Venezuelan fans in Florida than, anything else. And, that's my own country. And, to get jobs or taken advantage from in your own place is horrible, man. That's, it makes no sense.
Yeah, man, because you're a big name. But I'm telling you, it's the average person over here, they go, the contender. Oh, yeah, I remember that guy, Steve Forbes. They remember UK. You know what I'm saying? They remember you, and it's like it's not cool being treated like that, man. You know what I mean? Why do you think the fans ain't coming out to see your fights?
Yeah, they were coming out because a lot of people knew who I was. Which a lot of people were like, I would see people in the hotel before the fight, and a lot of them were like, "Oh, we didn't know you were fighting. We're gonna come check it out." They'd get a picture and it's like, "Oh, we loved you on the Contender." And, he had a crowd of people there. There was a lot of Latin people. But after the fight, I was signing their autograph, their papers,
Yeah.
So I don't understand this.
Wow.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I can't explain it, man.
Yeah. I'd like to see you boxers eventually get some kind of union where you just build up some manpower and you rally against this bullshit,
Yeah. No, I agree.
Man, if it's the fans though, because to see the judges, they're so. This is what I'm trying to say. How are they scoring the fights these days? I think somewhere along the line changed. It's like they're very heavily favoritism towards the guy who's got the most crowd. You
You know what?
They're not watching the boxing
Yeah.
no more. They're not watching the boxing no more. They're just, oh, they're
No.
cheering. Oh, we go. Yeah, that's the right way. That's the right way. Because they want to walk.
You
out
know
with
what?
Yeah.
You know what they should start doing or stop doing? Promoters should stop getting in the ring and standing next to their fighters.
Yeah.
That way, you know, you see that, like, I mean, it's okay for the promoter to get in the ring, stand in the middle, so the judges don't know whose side he's on, so they can score the fight without thinking, all right, we got to keep the promoter happy, so we'll have a job the next time. Stand in the middle of the ring, that way. But when you see the promoter go and stand in a certain corner of the fighter, and the other guy, there's no promoter in his corner, the judges are already thinking, okay, we got to favor this guy.
Yeah.
You know, this guy's giving us a job. You know, it's televised, so we're going to get a little bit higher pay. Let's keep this guy happy. You know, I mean, that's what it looks like is happening, and it's a bad situation. You know, they favor the promoted house fighters.
That's a great point you make. And I'd go even one step further. They shouldn't even come in the middle. You're right. There's no need for anyone except the referee and your seconds to be in the ring after the fight. There's no need. You know? At least after the decision is finally announced. You know?
Yeah. But you know the promoters, they be getting wine and dine though. You see what I'm saying? They be taking some wine and dine them taking to lunch.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right, absolutely.
There's pure skullduggery going along. This is what I'm saying. It's not just what you do in the ring. It's like, well, you got to flatten some of these cats out here, boy. And
Right.
And it's a shame. That's what I mean. You coming to Europe over here. I'm not gonna lie to you. I know we do know our boxing, but if you came over here, they try and pull the same stuff. You got to flatten some of these guys, Stevie.
Yeah,
boy.
they would do. They would.
Yeah,
they
would. You got to flatten because you got the skill to pay the bills, man. So it's
right.
You got to put that together and flatten some of these guys out here, bro.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree that he needs to do that. But really and truly, in 2013, Steve shouldn't have to take extra risks. If he's able to outbox his opponent, that should be sufficient. Right. He shouldn't have to do more than what's required. I know, I agree with you, Errol. He's going to have to do it because that's how it stands now. But it's not right, really. It's not right.
Nah, I agree with you. It's not right. But you see, the thing is, Steve's realized it because, like, I'm looking at his record and it's like, oh, you know, Steve, and I said, I'll see what they're doing. They're bringing you over and they're making sure the deck stack against Steve. And Steve comes through and they still just like, we still can't give it to you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like, what the heck? You know what I'm saying? So what's he got to do? You got to pay bills and stuff like that, you know?
So Steve, how much fights would you say have you genuinely lost, would you say, on points?
I would say that I felt that I've lost. Okay. Oscar De La Hoya, it was a great fight. Okay, I could say I lost that fight.
Nah, man, come on, man, that's a draw.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? A lot of you know what? It's funny. It's funny because a lot of people here, like Mexican people, will say, "Hey, man, you fought that." They'll say you won that fight, or they'll say, "Man, we had it even," and that's true. You know, so it's funny that you say that, but I would say, like, you know, just one of that fight, the Berto fight to me was up in the air, man. That was one of the closest fights. You know, I didn't get a lot of credit for a lot of things. I would say maybe 4 fights.
You see the Kareem Mayfield fight?
Oh, yeah, no, I wasn't myself. That was a fight, I would say I lost.
Yeah.
I was going right in the midst of a horrible divorce. I shouldn't even fought, really.
Yeah.
At all. Yeah, I was nowhere near my... I mean, if you would watch that fight, and a lot of people said it looked like you wasn't even there. You know, I wasn't, man.
I saw the fight, and you do have a case the referee shouldn't have stopped it, but I have to be honest. No. You wasn't very active at the time of the stoppage.
No, I wasn't. No, you know what? I wasn't. I wasn't active. I don't think the ref should have stopped the fight. I wasn't. But you know what? I wasn't active, and that's a fight that it was so much stuff going on, and I would say, okay, you know what? I can take that one. Okay. I can say, all right, I could say, okay, he won that fight. I wasn't active. I wasn't doing much. It was a horrible fight to watch. There was a lot of holding, and this was not a good fight to watch.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
with I could take that fight and say, all right, that night I wasn't there. You know, that's one of the only few where I could be like, I really wasn't in that fight at all. I just had so much going on, and you know, that shows that you got to be mentally prepared for everything.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
Is it a case that is he a good prospect, or was it just a bad day at the office for you?
You know, he has some potential, but he's not. And I've known him. You know, I knew him when I was junior lightweight champion. He used to come work out with us. You know, I've known the kid for a long time. But what he does is he's not he's not an exciting fighter. He holds a lot. I think he could have some success, you know, possibility, but I don't. Will he be a guy to look out for? Not really. Okay. You know, I don't really see that. I don't think he's exciting enough. I think he holds a lot. I think he fights like a kind of a guy that's worried, you know, in my opinion. I think, you know, he just had me on a good night. You know, that was a perfect night for him and the worst night for me. But you know, no excuses. I just wasn't there. But yeah, he doesn't impress. I watch his other fights, you know, and I talk to him occasionally. I haven't talked to him in a while, but his fights are not really impressive. You know, he's strong, but he doesn't stand out. You know. Okay. I think he could have some success, though, but I think his style of fighting is not good for TV. You see a lot of holding, and I think it's going to be very tough for him to be on major networks consistently where people want to see him.
You know what? He rushes in and he gets tangled up. He doesn't set his attacks very clean.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to ask you this question, right? I'll ask all boxers. What is more important to you? Money, glory, or belts? What's more important?
Money, glory, or belts? You know what? I love the glory of boxing. Just the skill, the one-on-one competition. The belts, you know what? It's not really a belt because anybody can have a belt nowadays. You know, when I was champion, it was only, you know, really top guys, you know, really good fighters had belts. Now there's so many belts. They got interim belts.
Yeah.
You know, there's like 3 different interim belts, and then you got the super belt and all this stuff. It's not really about the belt. I think it's about, you definitely want to make money to be able to take care of your family. But I think even more important than the money, I think it's the glory of being in there. You know, you put yourself on the line, you perform for people, man, and it's a kind of an addiction to feel the crowd, man, where you're like, man, you know what? I'm in here able to do something that a lot of people can't. So for me, I think it's more glory for me because because you can still have a belt and people don't want to see you fight. So I think it may be the glory. I mean, and of course you want to win championships too. So it's a mixture of all those things, but I think the glory of performing, putting on good performances, I think.
So you're going for glory.
Yeah.
Okay.
Man, I thought you would have choose the paper, man. I would have
like Biggie said, goodness gracious, the papers.
I mean, the paper, that money is, you know, that money is there too, but just, you know, because I say that because, you know, a lot of us, you know, we did it in the amateur. We didn't get paid a dime. We just loved the ability to get in there and fight. So we were all for the glory in the amateurs. And then, you know, you turned pro and it became about money. So.
Okay.
Yeah. But you know what? You've had a you know what I mean? You've had a blessed life though, you know. Because, you know, in the Contender Series, man, like Sugar Ray Leonard and, I don't know, was Sylvester Stallone in that series?
Yeah.
I'm not. Yeah, he was. No, he wasn't. He was
in the first season. He wasn't on our season.
Yeah, he wasn't on your shit. He was, like, and you know, me and Sugar Ray Leonard and getting, you know, in that exposure of that time, you know what I'm saying? And it was really big because there was nothing like the Contender Series. I mean, you have the MMA thing, the Ultimate Fighter Series like now, but that was the first thing, and like, everyone at college, we used to come home waiting to go see the Contender Series, and we were our favorites, man. Yeah. You had our favorites. Last one we had K9. There are people like, I was like, I didn't see you coming, man. You came
Steve
right
was the best boxer in the tournament.
Right, yeah.
Steve was technically the best boxer.
I didn't think you was gonna come through though, because like I was looking, I was like, man, and I see you beating these cats easily. I was like, damn.
Yeah.
They did a big profile on you and how you came up with your name. How did you come up with your name again? It's something to do with when you was born, 2 pounds or something like that.
Yeah, I weighed 2 pounds, and that name just stuck with me. Yep.
Yeah. And it was like, you tough, man.
Yeah.
Tough, man.
Very tough.
From birth, man. Get me, it's a great thing.
Steve.
Yeah.
What advice have you got for any young fighters coming up?
Well, I would say, make sure that they study boxing. Study the history of boxing. Just, to figure out, everything about it, whether it comes to money. Because you see a lot of the fighters, man, they end up with nothing and stuff like that. Study that stuff and try to, work hard. I would say definitely work hard and, be receptive to, like, the fans and be approachable. That's the most important thing. You see a lot of these guys, they get a few fights or they get popular. They don't talk to, they start to act like they're better than everybody else. They got to understand that, it's a privilege, man, to have people recognize you for boxing or something like that. Mm-hmm. Never think you're better than anybody because you do this for a living. Because fans and people, they can break you too, man. So I've always been the type of person like, hey, man, it's not. I just happen to do this sport, and I had some good fortune and stuff, and so I always try to be close to like fans and people in boxing, just because I'm a fighting fan.
Yeah.
I'm a fan that just happens to be a fighter, and I'm approachable. I talk to people, I talk all day about boxing. So that's what I love, and it keeps you real, keeps you a real person.
Yeah.
So never turn away from the fans.
You've always fought really tough competition. Is that something you think that a lot of young fighters are not doing today?
Yeah, I think so. I definitely think so. A lot of people are being babysat quite a bit in boxing, I think. You hear guys you hear these fighters complaining about money. Oh, they're not paying me enough money to fight this guy and this and that. And the money that's on the table is huge. Then you got, bad economy where people can't even get jobs. And you see these guys complaining about, $1 million, millions of dollars. And it's stupid, man.
Yeah.
And I go back to the point where I remember we used to fight for trophies, man. We didn't get paid. And, and people are, it reminds me of the whole Mayweather-Pacquiao.
Mm-hmm.
There was complaints about money, and now that fight is dead. So nobody gets anything, But that, we were robbed of a great event, and it's sad.
It was a mismatch, man.
It's a mismatch. Now it's, nobody wants to see it. They be like, man, I don't want to see it.
Yeah.
Nah, what do you think? The fighters and the promoters were just too greedy, basically.
Yeah. It's been happening for a while though. Riddick Bowe was fighting.
Yeah.
He was supposed to fight Lennox Lewis. You know what I'm saying? They've been killing us. They've been killing us slowly. It's the proliferation of the belts what's been killing us. The belt, all the belt separation of the belts. But give us one champion. We know who you are. But like I said, man, you're a big name. You're a big name wherever you go. You're a big name wherever you go, man. You know what I mean? That's why they want. You don't know when your next fight is.
We're looking at sometime in March.
Right.
Looking at March. I should know this week. Actually.
You're active, man. Like you haven't took a break, man. You hardly even took a break, man. You fighting very. Like usually when people at the end of their career, their fights start to slow down. But you just had a fight like
January, a few weeks ago.
January the 12th. You know what I'm saying? And then you got another one looked up for March, man. You real active.
Yeah. I say like this. Okay, this is a good analogy. You know, it's like going to see a surgeon. Say you need to get surgery done, and there's a doctor that's been around a long time, and he's really good, but he only operates once a year.
Yeah.
You may be like, all right, you know, he's pretty good, or he used to be really good, but he only operates once a year. But then you got another doctor that's been around a long time. He's getting better. But he's operating a lot. Every month, he's got a surgery. He's sharpening up his skills.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I want to go see the doctor that's, you know, pretty fresh, where he may be older, but he's operating at least once a month. You know, he's keeping his skills sharp. That guy's going to be a lot better off than the guy that's going once a year. So I put that craft to boxing. I said, okay, you know what? I could fight, you know, every 6-7 months and wait. Or I can just be like, you know what? I just fought. I'm not hurt. Let me get back in this gym. Let's try to see what else we can do. It may be a really smaller type fight, but it'll keep me sharp. And I'm going to keep my name out there, keep my skills out there. I don't have, 10 years to go. I don't have 5 years left to go. I'm trying to see what I can do in the next few years and keep myself physically fit. So that's one of the reasons why I said I wanted to do it that way.
Steve, hey, let me suggest something to you. I'm going to pull something out. I don't know if you're on this. So, see Ricky Burns, right? He's fighting Vasquez, right?
Right.
Yeah, okay. All right. Like, I don't know, like, if you, I'm just putting it to you, man. Jump on the plane, come down, to the show, right?
Right.
And it's going to be in Wembley if you get a ticket, whatever, and you call one of them guys out. I'm just saying, like, that's a good way to come into this, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're right. I'm going to see what I can do.
Yeah, jump in the plane, because they're going to say, oh, Steve Forbes in the house. Oh, yeah, another thing. Go, yeah, and I want to fight one of the winners. I'm telling you, man, you'll get the fight. I swear you'll get the next fight, You'll get the fight. Because they want to fight you. I swear that I'm just, I'm just throwing it out there. Because, like, you just say, like, you're just going to like with the region, because things ain't going to come to you. But, like Muhammad Ali and the rest of them, you need to go shake. They're having a big fight, and they're number 1 and 2 in the division. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You ain't got time to waiting around fighting these other small fries. Jump on the plane, buy a ticket. Yeah, I'm coming there. Box Nation, Steve Forbes coming down. I want to fight the winner.
When is that fight?
Here you go.
When is this fight?
That fight's in, I think it's in March.
Okay. Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, you see? There you go.
Yeah,
that's what, because I'm looking to go to another fight. I'm going to the Carson Jones and Lee Purdy fight. And that's in Wembley Arena, and then that's that fight there, man. You know what I'm saying? That, or even Steve Bunce, he does the boxing television show on the Monday nights. Yeah, or you try and get in contact with him and say you want to fight the winner, and I'm sure that I guarantee if you put it like that, I guarantee that that way you'll come to England. And you get a fight in England, and you'll be. I'm sure they want to fight you. I'm guaranteed.
I agree with that.
Yeah, if you guys got any info on the guy, I'll come on his show. Heck yeah, man.
Yeah, Steve Bunce. Look, man, you on Twitter?
Yeah, I'm on Twitter.
We'll message you through Facebook. His
Okay, and I'll give you guys my Twitter for real.
Yeah. He knows who you are. He knows who you are.
Okay.
Say, you talk to him and say, I want to talk to your show on the Monday. Right, and then and then you go call him and you say, I want Burns, I want Velasquez the winner, and I want the winner out that fight. I'm coming to Wembley. I want to see.
I agree with her. Right?
I would love that.
Yeah. At this stage right now, you just want the big fights now, man.
Right.
You've done the preliminary fights now. You know what I mean?
That's the way to come into the lightweight division.
I'd agree.
That's what you need to do.
And the thing is, the division is kind of tied up at the moment. Like
info,
yeah. So you to me, from what I'm looking at in the Ring magazine, like Kevin Mitchell's in the top 10 and guys like that, and Beltran. So you are easily a more appetizing contender for Ricky Burns right now. I'd agree.
You're big in it. The moment you're in the lightweight division, your name is already big. You're a known household name. Everyone knows who you are. In England as well, everyone knows who you are. So if you're calling out one of these guys from contender, it's more a bigger boost for them and you. You know what I'm saying? I think they won that fight. To be honest with you, I think Burns is gonna get through that fight. I think I picked Vasquez for knockout, but because he's fighting in England, I'm not too sure. But it doesn't matter. You got the winner, because if Vasquez gets the fight, you say I want him, and you can fight him in US. And if Burns fight, then you can fight him in the UK. So either way, you're a winner, and that's the way to go into the lightweight division. That's why. Right. Yeah, so I'll just put it out there for you, champ. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt. Because when I told people I was going to interview you, they're like, Steve Forbes, like, you know, people know you. You're a name, and like you're a very good fighter to watch as well. So you know, and like you say, a little voyage into the UK could be very fruitful for you, in my opinion. I think so, man. Yeah, I think so. Steve Forbes is coming to the England. They know you fought Oscar De La Hoya. They know you was in the Contender Series. Now, hey, when you land up England, me and Beats are coming to meet you up, bro. Yeah, man.
Oh, that'd be cool, man.
Yeah. We gonna come. We gonna be your chaperones. We gonna make sure you go to the right place.
All right. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, man.
We gonna make sure you get people know Steve Forbes in the house. He's looking, man.
Nice.
Where's Burns at, man? Where's Burns at?
Where's Burns? You know what I mean?
Where's Reese?
Yeah.
Where's Gavin? You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
All right.
That's it.
So is there anything else you want to tell your fans in the UK and the USA, the world, about?
I just want to tell them, hey, I will be out there soon, man. I'm definitely looking to get some things going on, and yeah, man, I would love to come out there and you know, get something going on. So, so watch out for 2 Pound. I will be around.
We're looking forward to it. Anything else you want to ask Steve, Errol?
Nah, man. I answer all the questions, man. I'm just overwhelmed that we are getting this opportunity to talk to you, man.
Yeah, me too. I've been a fan for a long time, and that's not saying that brown nosing because you're here. I've been a fan for a long time. I wanted you to win the Contender Series.
You, man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, we have.
Like, just give the people your Twitter and your Facebook or any details where they can access you.
Okay. I got, my Facebook is, I got actually 2 of them because they're filling up. I got Steve Forbes, the number 2, and then I have Stephen Forbes, spelled with the PH, STEPHEN, Forbes. And you guys can hit me up on Twitter. It's at 2 Pound Forbes, spelled out number 2 LB, and then last name Forbes on Twitter. And hit me up. I'll definitely respond. Okay. I always respond to people, so you guys look out for me.
All right. So basically, you're looking to take a belt this year, a couple of major belts this year. That's
absolutely, okay. Absolutely.
All right. Okay, that's Steve Forbes, people. You know what I mean? And you know we're privileged to have some time with him. So
2008 is going to be your year, champ. That's going to be your year, champ.
Yep.
You're going to get a belt this year.
Yep. That's the plan. Appreciate it, guys.
Yo, thanks for your time, Steve, man.
Thanks for your time, Steve, yeah?
No problem. All right, thanks, guys.
All right,
peace. All right, bye, man. Peace.